Well, it's a homecoming, and being together in a function like this is always great joy, even though it is the end of the day. I have a sore throat, so I will not be able to speak much. But then, I couldn't let you down when I had promised to come and be with you this evening. The topic that you have discussed from morning is a process of democratization in the lawmaking. And we know that we elect people to the assembly, to parliament. There are some nominated people who are all given the task of making law. Now, it is not so much we must concentrate on them. They can be given some refresher courses and told what they should do, what they should not do. But I feel democratization in the lawmaking process means, it is my submission, people's involvement in the lawmaking process. India is a democratic country with the least people involvement in the lawmaking process. Very few go to vote. If it is 50%, it is a miracle. Most of the time in democratic India, the government that has ruled has minority votes in the elections. So the majority has very rarely voted a government to power. And when such is the case, what should be the involvement of the people in the lawmaking process, whether they accept that law or reject it? This question has to be discussed in a forum like this. And that is why I feel public opinion is one of the most important aspects which has to be channeled to the lawmakers. How are we going to channel this public opinion to the lawmakers? And how this opinion can help in the lawmaking process is the question which must concern all of us. Though we may not vote, yet we are concerned with the laws that the government passes. We are concerned because the law is for us, the law will be implemented against us. And that is why we have to be concerned about the type of laws that are passed. You know, when the emergency was declared, we were in a terrible state of shock. How it could happen in a free India like that? And the people in the very next election showed what they wanted to the government by removing those people lock, stock and barrel. That is public opinion. But it doesn't require an emergency to create a public opinion. We should never think of such an emergency to be introduced under the Constitution in free India. So we have to be alerted against that. At the same time, we must know how to encourage public opinion to be created. I brought a couplet from ancient Egypt, thousands of years back. In ancient Egypt, somebody said, a poem was written as the dispute with his soul of one who is tired of life. Dispute with the soul of one who is tired with his life. And what he said then is very relevant to India today. You know what he says? To whom shall I speak today? People are all greedy. Gentleness of spirit has perished. All the people are impudent. People laugh at crimes of him who before would have enraged the righteous. There are no just men. The earth has been given over to evildoers. What the speakers have said whole day, criminalization of politics, legislators not coming up to our expectations. All this is summed up in this poem written thousands of years back in Egypt. And consequently, it is very honest and forthright people who have created a public opinion in every country. They may have died in that cause. Many have been killed in the cause. But they have told the king. We have enough stories in our own country of ancient India. When the king went wrong, one among the people rose up and says, "My dear, you are wrong. You shall not do it. It is against the will of the people." The king would have asked, "Who are you? Who are you to talk about the people? I am the king and I know what to do." But then the moral force of that person who said, he may be a prophet, he may be a Swami, he may be a sage, he may be an ordinary person. When he tells the truth, it is nothing but Satyameva Jayate. The truth shall prevail. The truth shall not perish. And that has been our emblem. It has been accepted by our parliament that shall be the motto of our country. And in this sense, we try to ask ourselves today, are we honest in our opinion? Are we given the right type of opinion to our government? And how you and I can do it? In a few words, I will try to tell you how we could do this and yet perform our duties. We need not be killed. We may go to jail and come back. But yet, when time comes, you have to show your worth as an educated person. To tell the powers that be, as those who did in ancient times, that they are wrong. If the king could be wrong, that saying that king does no wrong does not apply in this sense, that the decisions of the king could be wrong. And it is subject to public opinion. It was only in the French Revolution. When the French Revolution took place, the world came to know the meaning of public opinion. What is public opinion? The public showed by hanging the priests of the Catholic Church, by guillotining their queen and their king against the whole hierarchy. Whoever had blue blood was guillotined. All those who occupied positions of authority were finished. That is public opinion. When the public opinion demands, it demands so strictly that where a queen can have millions of shoes, when the king can have thousands of castles, and the queen says, if you don't have bread, eat cake. In such a situation, we have no choice, the people had no choice but to guillotine that queen and to kill that king. We must also guillotine sometimes persons who mislead us, who do not take us to the right path in our democratic process. For us, there should be nothing greater than democracy. And it is said by Christian Garvey, a German philosopher, interpreting the French Revolution, he said, what is public opinion? It is the strong reflection of an individual, not of mass. It is not the mass who acts. When individuals reflect, when individuals think, and they all think alike, that becomes mass. So it is the own reflection or practical knowledge of an individual who behaves in a particular way. Jeremy Bentham introduced public opinion in England. We know much about Jeremy Bentham, and it was this person who said, public opinion, he would not follow what French did. They were all scared that would happen in England. But he said, public opinion must be taken into account by judges, by legislators, and the lawmakers so that they know where we stand in our lawmaking process. So Bentham had in mind things would come very bad for the English crown and the parliament if he did not do it. Now, private opinion can also become public opinion. And the example that is given here is in United States, how public opinion was created. In 1930s, nobody would dare talk about venereal disease. Thereafter, AIDS. Nobody would talk. The television was barred from showing or telling about this disease. But then people's individual opinions started multiplying. No, unless we educate, we'll all die. The type of venereal disease cases, the type of deaths that were taking place, now the type of deaths through HIV AIDS is something, you have to talk whether you like it or not. It happens whether we like it or not. And in that sense, public opinion has been created. Now you see how family planning is being taught everywhere. The red triangle, the use of condoms. Openly we are doing, our children are knowing, our grandchildren are knowing what that is. They have to know, otherwise they will die. Unless they are told, unless you use this at an appropriate time, you are going to not live, because the disease is such, it will kill everybody. That is the way we build without being vulgar, without talking ill of anything. We can build a public opinion to help the law people to prepare themselves. Then the question comes,